Take everything you know about traditional Dutch boat building and throw that out the window. This is the Steeler FF46, and it's a boat that's doing things very, very differently. It's available in aluminium as a boat that will do 33 knots with IPS, but this is the version with a pair of 160 horsepower Yanmars, so you're looking about 11 knots. We're going to take it out on the waterways and go out to the lakes and give it a good going over and see what it's all about. It's down here in the interior when things start to get really interesting on the FF46. Now you have to bear in mind the entire time that you can do whatever you want down here. This is an open space and Steeler will design whatever sort of interior you want. Obviously this owner has gone for the galley here, which faces out towards the cockpit, sofas either side, very, very sociable. And then of course you can enjoy all this light from these amazing windows. Walking back this way, side doors, both sides, really big, chunky opening doors. Open right out onto the water. Great for bringing the tender alongside, great for jumping straight in from the saloon if you want to swim, and also very practical for when you want to get off the boat. Back here, on this boat, this is where your guest cabin is. Again, it's just so much space up here, loads of headroom, loads of light, a little bit restricted over the berths, but not too bad. And you've got a bit of storage here as well, and then you have a bathroom just here, which can also be used as the day heads. Come down this side. Again, there's loads of room to walk around. Headroom is phenomenal. This is where you sort of have a lot more your galley equipment, fridges, freezer here, storage down here for you, all nicely fiddled for your cups and everything. And then you keep moving forward past the helm, the raised helm, and you end up here in the master cabin. And again, it's just the feeling of space. There's so much light, glazing both sides, 4 big hatches in the roof, and look how much headroom there is. I mean, it's just absolutely staggering. Loads of room for the bed, and then if you come around the corner, you have this really nice sort of open plan bathroom with the open sink, shower, which has a lovely view out as well, and again, loads of light. And then this door in here is your toilet. But yeah, really interesting and very effective layout as well. And then what you're left with up here on the top deck, especially on the aft section, is a huge expanse of totally open space. Now you are sort of perched on this area rather than feeling like you're in it, so it's probably going to be freestanding furniture only, but there is loads of space to play with up here. And one thing to mention is the fact that this boat has lower railings because the owner wants to go through the French canals. Going forward, this boat will have slightly taller railings, so you won't feel quite so precarious when you're crewing. And talking of crewing, of course, this deck is where you do all the crewing from. There are no side decks, so to speak. So this is where you lash the fenders onto. You can see you've got the cleats here for the lines and the fair leads. And although it's slightly irregular, it's actually very easy because it is all on one level, and you have handholds here to grab onto. So although it's slightly strange, it actually is very easy to crew this boat. Driving the FF46 is a pretty unique experience in itself. The only thing I can really compare it to in terms of the driving position is almost like the traditional aft cabin Dutch boats, because you have this raised position, yet you're completely surrounded by glass and totally protected. Yet on this boat you're a lot further forward, so the view for the skipper is excellent. You're nice and high, the end of the bow isn't too far away. Obviously these big windows means the view is superb. Roof up, nice bit of ventilation coming through, and it's just very, very easy and very relaxing, to be quite honest. The Helm Station itself, very simple, unobtrusive, but it all works. Position's nice enough. You know, it's all very clearly laid out. Nice bit of leather here, helps the aesthetics. Simple but effective. It works really nicely. So again, berthing this boat slightly different to what you may be used to, because you're sort of totally hemmed in, but the glazing means you can really easily see where you're going onto. I've got glass down here so I can see where the pontoon's coming alongside, and they fitted these cameras on the waterline as well, so you can really easily see where you're coming onto from the helm position. And with this roof open, you can easily communicate with the crew as well. So this is where I'm slightly starting to lose sight of the pontoon, so you can either sort of look down at the camera here, or even better, you can look down through this glazing here and you can really easily see your proximity to the pontoon down this corner by my leg. This is a particularly good example of how well these side doors work. Here in Holland especially, when you're mooring up to things about this height quite regularly, these doors mean you can access these cleats really easily, and then it's just a case of stepping off the boat and you're on land. Couldn't be easier. Maybe I should have prefaced this video by saying traditionalists look away now, because there is nothing traditional about the way Steeler has built this boat. But you have to come on board and see it to believe it, really. The looks aren't going to be to everybody's taste, and maybe the concept isn't, but you can't deny the adventure that's in this boat. And then there's the fact that you can have one that does 11 knots, you can have one that does 22 knots, and you can have one that does 33 knots with triple IPS in aluminium. There really is one for every taste. But most of all, it's the bravery involved in making something like this, and the fact that it works quite so well.